Afternoon, everyone. We will start now.
Good afternoon. Please start.
Can I request Father Joseph Leo from Chennai to lead us in prayer?
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving Heavenly Father, thank you very much for your blessings upon the R Forum and Don Bosco Migrant Services on all the provinces. We thank you for your grace and mercy upon us. At the same time, we also bring before you the sufferings, pain, and struggles of those migrants who are moving to their hometowns. We thank you for this gathering to discuss about the migrant issues and to come out with certain lines of action that will empower the vulnerable migrants. We thank you for all the connections, heads of the departments, Salesian cooperators, past peoples, religious people, diocesans, and all other individual donors and sponsors who contributed in a little or a big way for the relief of the migrants during this pandemic. Let your presence may go before us during this meeting to share and discuss and come out with fruitful and meaningful deliberations. Let the worries of migrants be taken away and renew their commitment. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Mary, our Mother and Help, pray for us.
Thank you, Father Leo, for leading us in prayer. Father Tati, Father Provincial, and all conference and friends, welcome to this meeting. Thank you for your participation today, for making time to attend, and for those who are presenting, for investing thought, time, energy, and skills in preparing the presentations. This was a request from several quarters, conference and collaborators across the country wanted to know what we have been doing so far. And since we thought the day after tomorrow the presentation would become too long, we thought of this curtain raiser session. But it is really a very important and significant contribution. The family's treasure of experiences, learnings, accumulated wisdom is being shared now across the country. So I wish to thank all of you who are here, who are participating today, and who have put in work to make these presentations. As for the process today, we have allotted about 10 minutes each for the presentation and about 10 minutes for interactions, questions to each team. But of course, it can vary, a total of about 20 minutes to each team. And I hope you will be kind enough if somebody exceeds by about 5 minutes or so, because all the provinces and all the teams have some very good things to share with us. But I request the presenters to try and not exceed a total of 20-25 minutes. So after each presentation, we have time from any of the participants to ask questions, clarifications, more ideas, or more elaboration, whatnot. Two little requests to everyone. When you are not intending to talk to the group, please mute your mic. And those who are presenting, when you want us to move a slide, the presentations are being done from here. When you want us to move to the next slide, please say next or give us a sign, next slide, and we will move to the next slide. So thank you very much. We move on to the first presentation from Bangalore province. Father Tony Plavila is presenting for us from Bangalore province. Father Tony, over to you.
video if they all can switch off.
Yeah, if you can switch off your videos, probably there'll be better connectivity now.
Hello,
No, I have to.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Aquinas, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay, okay. Fine. So thanks to everyone who are here at this meeting, especially to Father Tony, who is organizing this event today. So I am Father Tony Varghese, belonging to Bangalore province, a 1 year senior to Thomas Aquinas in our theology days. So I'm presenting a project that an initiative of Bangalore province that is taken by our province, and the name of it is executed mainly in Kerala state. The name of the project is Kismet. Though it is, it looks like format. The name of the project looks like a Kismet. It's not in Hindi. It is in English. KISMAT. Kerala Interstate Migrants Alliance for Transformation. We have begun this project in the year 2018 August. The context. There are about 35 lakhs of migrants coming to Kerala from for job, especially from West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, Assam, and UP. And they have been here for a number of years. From Gulati Institute of Finance and Taxation conducted a survey in the year 2013.
But Tony, can you be little more loud? Keep the mic near you and speak. Some are saying they can't hear.
Okay. Okay. So the Gulati Institute of Finance and Taxation in the year 2013 conducted a survey all over Kerala. And in their findings, they say that about 30 to 35 lakhs of interstate migrants are there in Kerala. They are from West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, Assam, and UP. And to say the fact that all the menial jobs in Kerala are done by the migrants today. Well, that's the situation in Kerala. But at the same time, a lot of exploitations are there from the part of the natives, exploiting them outright, these migrants. So in this context, that Bangalore province took up this initiative of starting a project to take care of these migrants. And we have begun this project in 2018 and named it as Kismet, Kerala Interstate Migrants Alliance for Transformation. Next slide, please. So as I said, the context is this, context of this project is that about 35 lakhs of migrants from different states, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, and Assam, and UP, etc., engaged in all sorts of hazardous manual labor. The age group of this, it is a notable thing, the age group of these migrants are from 18 to 35, belong to, okay? And they face a total alienation.
Tony, little more louder. Tony, if you can be little more louder. Many are asking you to be louder. Keep the microphone near you and speak.
I'm doing that. Not able to hear?
Okay.
No?
Okay, continue.
Okay. These migrants face a total alienation from the native people. And this group of about 35 lakhs of migrants in Kerala, they are the most vulnerable group with outright exploitation, as you can see in the slide. Okay. Not aware of the labor laws that are at their hand, and they have no proper living conditions, etc. They are unskilled and uneducated, and they are helpless. So the context is this: that 35 lakhs of migrants are here in Kerala, and they are most vulnerable group, and they are youngsters, and we are, as educators of the young people, we decided to take care of them. That was the beginning of our project called the Kismet. Next slide. Our mission, what we do, we base ourselves in three things. We protect them from all sorts of exploitation. But as a province venture, we protect them from all sorts of exploitations. We enrich them with opportunities, job opportunities, skill training, and dignified life. We enrich these migrants by holding their hands to face the challenges of life here in Kerala state. So that's the reason we say that these are the three pillars of our work: to protect them, to enrich them, and to empower them. Next slide. Okay, our migrant help desk in Kerala. We have, as you know, we have 14 districts in Kerala, and we have, except 3 districts, we have all districts, we have our migrant help desk offices in all the districts, all the 11 districts, and 12 migrant desks. We have in Ernakulam, we have a large number of migrants. Okay, we have Peripavur, a particular pocket where 6 lakhs migrants are there. Peripavur town alone, there are 6 lakhs of migrants. So we have 2 help desks in Ernakulam district. So we are operating in 11 districts with 12 migrant help desks. Okay, out of 14 districts, and 3 districts we don't have our presence. But in case of any emergency, we intervene in these three districts also from the nearby districts. Okay, that is our outreach in Kerala state. Next slide. Next. Previous one. Okay, this is our organizational structure in Kismet, Kerala. We have a state director and we have a state coordinator for the program. Each district has got a salvation priest as the director of the district for Kismet project, and each district has got a coordinator organizing the programs of the districts. Okay, this is our organizational structure, and our coordinators have got their support from other NGOs plus from different MSW colleges, etc. We work wholeheartedly in the field. So this is our organizational structure. Next slide. Okay, Kismet has got its network with our government departments, like Labor Department. Labor Department, we cannot do anything by ourselves as far as the labor force is concerned. Okay, so all the actions and everything has to be done by the government department. So we closely collaborate with our Labor Department for our Kismet work. Also, Police and Excise Department. Okay, these migrants who are here, they are most 80% of them addicted to substance abuse, etc. So, and also they at times they engage in a kind of criminal activities. So there are a lot. So we need to have the support of police and excise department. We work in close collaboration with them. We also work with the district administrative bodies like a panchayat level, we have a district level, we have a taluk level, we have panchayat level administrative bodies with us. We have formed a body wherein they will take up the cases of these migrants and sort them, a kind of adalat like. So we have a group of a body created for that. And also we work in close collaboration with NGOs and associations and other organizations who are like-minded, who are interested in the migrants' work. Next slide. So the project objectives: reach out to the migrants through migrant help desk, as I said, in each district, being in the field and being their voice, educate and support through awareness building, counseling, social interaction, cultural interaction, etc. Linking them to state provided services like Abbas insurance, health insurance, and basic education. So something has to be said about Abbas insurance. It is a program of state government of Kerala, a kind of insurance policy for all the migrants who come and work here. The benefit of this is they need not pay any premium for this this insurance. They have to give their biometrics alone. So the benefit is that if a migrant die in the work site, he gets an amount of 2 lakhs rupees. His dependents, his family members gets an amount of 2 lakhs rupees from the government. And if they are injured in the work site, for their treatment, the government offers them 25,000 rupees. This is without any payment of premium. They have to just give their biometrics and register themselves. Only that thing they have to do. So we link them to these state government programs. Okay. Alliance building meeting with the contractors and owners to ensure that they get a dignified life. So most of the migrants are under contractors. Also, some unskilled laborers are there, but most of them are under contractors and owners. Okay, next slide. Okay, we have a building of migrants database. No, this is important as far as our program is concerned, because we need to have the database of them if they engage in kind of any kind of criminal activities and so on. Police will question us. So wherever we are working, we are just collecting their database. Network with the government and non-government organizations. We need to network. No, only network can bring our work more effective. Avail forums and platforms for migrants to express their needs. Like we conduct now one day Adalat camps where all the departments, the government departments like Labor Department, Police Department, Excise Department, Revenue Department, all the departments together come together. Also the contractors and owners, they come together and hear their grievances and solve them on the spot. A kind of Adalat where all the departments comes together. That's why we say avail different platforms. Now, organizes faith-based and cultural-based programs. We have a mass for the Catholics. We organize in different districts. Also, other Hindu festivals also we celebrate with them, like Durga Puja, etc. Okay, next slide.
Other Tony, 5 minutes more.
Yes. Okay. This COVID pandemic is support that what we have done in Kerala, just an outlook. Food and provision, we have supported about 68,250 people. Education materials provided to students of migrants here, about 349 of them. Cooked food support, 59,400. Face mask, 1,255. Provision kit for 9,346 people. And travel arrangements. So during COVID season, they wanted to go back, many of them, and we made arrangements to get them back to their native places. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, Kismet interventions, in which are the areas we intervene with the migrants. Okay, as I said, the medical and Abbas camps, we organize camps, counseling support we give them. We give jail interventions. We have 16 jails in prisons in Kerala. We got permission to enter all the 16 jails and conduct programs for the migrants who are convicted. Okay, awareness classes for them, hospital assistance, job placement, legal aid, and crisis interventions. All these are our intervention, field of interventions. Next slide. So awareness classes we take on these subjects: health and hygiene, spreading illness, labor laws, traffic rules, financial literacy, work maintenance, importance of education, government schemes. All these things that you see on the slide, we take awareness classes in different places. The number of classes that we have taken, etc., will come to another slide. Next one. Okay. So the Excise Department has got a program called the Vimukti Mission. All over Kerala, they conduct the programs for de-addiction and substance abuse, to get them away from these substance abuse, etc. And we organize these camps, and they come and conduct programs with us. And nuclear defense training for women. That is, these migrant women are most vulnerable. In companies, they are at times they are prone to sexual exploitation, etc. So, police department has got a program called Nirfaya Self-Defense to empower them. Like they teach them martial arts, and we organize these programs. We invite police department, and they come and conduct the programs. Next slide. Open forums in each district. Okay, as I said, we conduct Adalat, in which government officials, the contractors and owners will be there. And in each company, we go and conduct the programs where migrants work, more than 20 migrants where they work, we go and conduct the programs. And in this Adalat, they have an open forum to express themselves. They have all the difficulties they express, and it could be solved on the spot. That is the thing. That is best thing about this Adalat, open forums where they can express themselves. Next slide. Okay, Kismet Village. This is a new initiative from Kismet. That is, migrants usually live together in particular places, like different pockets. They live together. They don't live for security's sake. They don't live in isolation. They live as a group, and if we adopt these groups as Kismet Village, where more than 100, 200, 500 migrants live together, and we make sure these things. Okay, pre-intervention stage, you can see, at least before our intervention, what were happening. They were isolated, ignorant, irregular for work. Many migrants don't have Awas and Aadhaar card. Poor health and unhygienic waste disposal, uncontrolled use of substance, unaware of government schemes, lack of entertainment. A lot of things are there. But once we adopted these villages where migrants are there, the post-intervention stage, you can see there is proper waste management we have made, improved socialization, saving habits, helping mentality, regular job, and reduced internal conflicts, better financial management, started attending faith-based programs, maintaining workbook system, entertainment programs, make sure that you all have Awas and Aadhaar cards for those who are here. And a database is created of all the migrants. Okay. Hello?
Presentation is gone.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Stop the video.
Hello?
Go to president.
My issue.
Just a minute, just hold on.
Yes, yes.
And please try to hurry up, Tony, because
Yes. Just
it's
2 moments.
interesting. Yeah.
Just 2 moments. 2 moments.
Sure.
Go to full screen.
Previous one.
Finish one.
Okay, next one. Okay. Okay, next one. Okay. Also, we conducted a survey all over Kerala, the life and labor of interstate migrants workers in Kerala, an assessment. So to know about the difficulties they face in Kerala in the life and work situations, and this we would present it to the government department for a policy level changes in favor of the migrants. That's the reason why we conducted a survey in Kerala, all over Kerala for the migrants. Next slide. Next, industry-based study. So we selected 5 industries from each districts and conducted a study there. And from there, we could solve the problems they faced in particular industries. Okay, we could bring to the attention of the owners or the proprietors of these industries and tell them that these are the difficulties they face. So as a result of our intervention, the migrant workers had more satisfaction, and as a result, there was more productivity. We could see that. Okay, next one. As I explained, we have 16 prisons in Kerala. We are entering into all the prisons and giving support like psychosocial support, counseling support, facility for legal support, etc. to the prisoners, migrant prisoners in 16 jails in Kerala. Okay, next one. Next one. Okay. As I said, we cannot work in isolation. We are working together with different departments, government departments, NGOs, and we have a migrant welfare committee formed in each panchayat where this our Kismet village is located. And once a month we have a meeting with the migrants of this particular Kismet village with the government bodies, local police personnel, local panchayat member, ward member, etc. We have an adalat where they can speak to each other and speak their grievances. Okay, next one. Next slide. Okay, so we have placed information boards in all the 6 railway stations in Kerala, like main railway stations where they come to. So as soon as they unboard from the train, they have information where to go, where to call and where to depend on. So we have given in 6 railway stations boards so that they can, instead of wandering around, they can immediately get support from government department or NGOs or Christmas. Next one. Okay. So also in 2019, we organized the best migrant-friendly company award. From each district, we selected one company that gave lots of care for the migrants, most migrant-friendly company. And in our annual meet, in the presence of the minister, we gave the best migrant company awards to all the companies from different districts. The other one is from our magazine release. Okay, that's some ministries there with us. Next one. Okay, this is most important thing. I think this is a fruit of Kismet work alone. See, a lot of, as I said, a lot of exploitation that happens. These migrants are made to work, and at the same time, there are many places they are not paid their wages. Okay, in 2018-19, only because of the intervention of Kismet, we have got back for the migrants 61,92,850 rupees from the contractors of here and gave to the migrants in different cases, about 93 cases. And also this year, from 2019 to 20, we have got back about 25,98,802 rupees for the migrants. From this is a sheer exploitation of the migrants. Since they have no one to speak for, people try to exploit, make them work and not pay their dues. So we have intervened and we have made arrangements for getting this money. This is a peculiar, this is a singular achievement of Kismet, we can say. Next one. Okay, some challenges that we faced. There is non-cooperation of government staff. Sometimes, so from other, other religion people are there, like some Muslims or who are in authority, especially DLO, district labor officer, or ALO, assistant labor officer. If they are in office, at times we don't get that support. They know that this is from a Christian institution that we are doing, though it is a social work, they may not give that their support in some places. Then inability to take a legal procedure because of project constraint. Because there is a case of wage theft, etc. We just intimate it to the labor department, police department, and with their support, we get the money for the migrants. But we cannot take a legal procedure, like we cannot employ an advocate. We don't have a fund for that, or we don't do that. So inability to take a legal procedure is there. When the flood and COVID-19 pandemic restricted our...
Tony, if you can speed up, it's not necessary to explain each of the challenges. They are self-explanatory.
Okay, seasonal work of the native migrants. Migrants who are here, they just cultivate there and come, and they work here for 6 months. They go back again for the harvest season. So they are continuously, they are not here. We don't get much media support from here. Delay in getting government permissions, like any interventions, there's a lot of delay in getting government permissions. Lack of sufficient, hello? Okay, we have also lack of sufficient staff members with us for working in Kerala. So, hello?
Yeah, continue. Somebody interview.
Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, these are the outcome of our project. How many camps, etc. we have done. Okay, that number is given. Okay, next one. Okay. Well, Kismet in media. So we have got some coverage for our program. Okay, next one. Okay, future plans. The publication of our survey report. I submitted a proposal to the government for making policy level changes. Advocacy meeting with the government departments and other departments. Introduce migrant-friendly media award, because media is not giving us proper support. So if we form an award for the best media, they may support us. So we are planning for that. Migrant Welfare Committee, we have to strengthen that. Then stakeholders meeting and alliance building programs, strengthening migrant community sustainability in Kerala. Orientation programs for the house owners and contractors more often, more than what we do now. So these are the future plans. Okay, next. Hello. Okay, this slide, Father Joy will explain these slides. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Father Joy from Breads. I just take 2 minutes more and complete this presentation. I just talk about the response to migrants in Karnataka that we are doing, especially this time of the COVID. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, as we know, many houses are directly involved in helping out the people, especially the migrants. So there were special packages only for catering to the needs of the migrants. So we did it in the city and also some houses in North Karnataka, especially because people have come from Mumbai and Telangana to North Karnataka because of the COVID situation in their cities. And Don Bosco Gulbarga in North Karnataka was also a nodal agency for NORCA, which is an arm of the government of Kerala to look after the non-resident Keralites. So they arranged transport facilities for people to travel from Gulbarga to Kerala, and also helped the transport of people from North Karnataka to North India. Next slide, please. So what shall we do in the coming days? Because a lot of people have come from other states to North Karnataka. Also from the city of Bangalore, they have gone back to North Karnataka because North Karnataka is actually again kind of the place from where people migrate to other places. So when they come back after 10 years, 15 years, they have no livelihood opportunity. So we'll have to start from the scratch for them. So maybe in the agricultural sector or other sector, we need to help them, or even the livestock, help them with agriculture or livestock so that they can start from the beginning their life. Next one. Next slide, please. So many of them do not have the ID cards or to join that Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Livelihood Program, the 100 days of job. For that, they need also ID cards. So we need to also help them with the government schemes. So these are some of the things that we are hoping to do or already doing in North Karnataka for those migrants who have returned. Next slide. Again, the explanation of the same thing. So there are so many schemes of the government for which we need to link them so that they start, they start their life again in their locations where they have reached. Next slide. Also, many of them have come, but they have no place to go. Some of them were staying in Don Bosco for some 3 weeks, 4 weeks during their quarantine. When they went back, they had no place to stay because their own relatives or parents were there, but then they had no place. So they were kept in temporary tents and sheds. So for that, we need to also help them a little bit with the drinking water or even other facilities with government schemes, or to look after the children who are there in the household. So we are looking at those interventions also for those families. Next slide. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Tony, and the whole Kismet team led by Father Joy and Father Matthew Thomas for that presentation, which I'm sure you'll agree was very informative and full of ideas that can be replicated elsewhere in the country. So thank you so much for that presentation. We have taken quite a bit of time. So for the moment, let me restrict interaction to maximum 3 questions. If we have time afterwards, we'll come back after everyone presents. Someone would like to ask or to add? Any questions, or someone would like to add something? Yeah, Bosco, Francis, Father Bosco. Please unmute your mic before you speak. Please unmute your mic.
Hello, Father. Can I speak? Father Tironia.
Okay, Father Joseph, And then, Father Bosco, are we going to talk?
But I would like to know.
Father Teron first, and then Father Bosco.
Yeah. Congratulations for the Tuli and company and the team. I'd just like to know, like, how many solutions are involved in this venture? I know lots of lay people, other collaborators, but how many solutions involved, like full time?
I think, can I answer?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay, so they are the solutions are not full time, but then they are the facilitators or the directors. In each district, we have one solution who's in charge of this project, but the main work is done by the coordinator who is a layperson. But then the guidance and supervision is done by the solution from each district and coordinated by Father Tony, who is the state director. He's a full-time director. His only job is to look after this project.
So what Father Jordan said is one full-time solution, and where the migrant does start, the community, the leader or someone, is that right? One full-time solution, and yeah, thank you, Father. Any other? Father Bosco, did you want to ask something or say something? Father Bosco Francis?
Yeah, Father.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Kismet team and Tony and others. I'm more worried about the Tamilians in Kerala. I heard when Tony was talking about in Ernakulam, Perambavu, almost 6 lakhs Tamilians are there.
Not only.
I want to know how this Kerala migrant desk helped Tamilians to reach, how many they helped to transport. Even transportation, I heard there is almost 23,100 people were transported. Is there any Tamilians among them, or is there, can you share with us also? It will be nice. I'm more worried about Tamilians who have been transported. 6 lakhs from Perambavu, that is Ernakulam. Tony?
Yes.
Tony from Trivandrum, I can speak.
Yeah, hello, Father.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I said
Okay, Tony, go ahead.
6 lakhs of migrants from North Indian state, West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, and Assam, and UP. Not from Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, very minimal number only.
Oh, when you, okay.
This, Tamil migrants are completely replaced by the North Indian migrants in Kerala. Very minimal number of Tamilians here.
Okay.
Okay. Father Ratna? Father Ratna?
Please unmute.
Father, I heard that you place some boards in different railway stations for toll-free number for the migrants to contact. Is it a toll-free number from the government, or did you start a number of your own, and how effective it is?
It is not a toll-free number. It is the government has got, Labour Department has got a helpline for them, for the migrants. And also we have, Kismet has got, also some other projects like a Suraksha of the government department, it has got a toll-free number. So all these are included in this particular board. So as soon as they come, many are coming without any orientation, simply board in the train and come. They expect that they get some daily wage work. So those people, when they come, they can depend on these numbers which are displayed on the railway stations. And we have got about 1,200 calls so far. It is some 1 year that we have placed these boards. So we have helped about 1,200 people through this boards. Only the calls that we have received. It's not. For other Labour Department and other NGOs must have received also many calls. But we have received more than 1,200 calls, and we have helped them.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there one last question more? Anyone?
Father, I want one question.
Okay.
We have very.
Father, your voice is breaking. Father, tell me your voice. Speak slowly. Speak slowly. Maybe able to get.
Yeah, you have a huge and congratulations for your work. My question, like, the migrants that we are taking care of, those coming from outside Kerala, that is the one that you have got that number and they're very detailed. Now, I would like to know the other way. Are you also able to address or have data for those migrants who go out of Kerala to elsewhere in India?
I can answer this, Father Tony, in 1 minute. So there are a lot of Keralites have now returned to Kerala from the Gulf countries, because of the issues there. So we are looking at bridging the gap. There is a lot of vacuum created by the exit of North Indian migrants, and also and that vacuum now is going to be filled by the people those who have returned, the original Keralites who have returned from the Gulf. So we have to really link these people, these skilled workers who have returned to the existing employers or industries, so that they can get jobs there. Many of the migrants who have come from the Gulf now, I don't think they'll be able to go back immediately, and they need to find work. So the province is looking at mobile app again, only for very specifically for the migrants in Kerala and those who have returned from the Gulf.
Thank you, Father Joy. Father Matthew Thomas, you wanted to add something? Father Matthew Thomas?
Thank you, Father.
Was it, you wanted to add something or I got it wrong?
Matthew, you have to unmute.
Unmute the mic.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the flagship program of the Bangalore province at present for serving the migrants. But I would also want to add that it was in 1973 that the province of Bangalore started working for migrants in the city of Cochin, when there was a ban on children and others who are begging, and most of them were people from outside Kerala, and they had to be looked after. And then that is where in the province of Bangalore we started working for children and also young people in very, very risky situations. And today there are about 18 centers in the province of Bangalore that are reaching out to children and young people in very dangerous situations. And in these centers, quite a lot of them are young at risk, quite a lot of them are migrants from other states. And then you also heard that during this season of COVID, a lot of these yard centers and also most of the communities in the province also reached out to the migrants in the locality and supported them. So this is Kismet is not the only work, and that is a wonderful work. Big result is happening, but also all the yard centers are also reaching out in their own ways to migrants and supporting them. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Matthew Thomas. Congratulations, Bangalore province. I hope you will also continue to lead on the national scene soon. Can we now go over to Bosconet? Mr. Lewis is presenting for Bosconet. Mr. Lewis, are you ready?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Mr. Lewis is presenting the. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Lewis. We are putting on the PowerPoint. Just hold on. Yes, you can continue now.
Okay. Good afternoon, fathers. I am Louis from Bosconet, and I will present a short slide. Mostly, or am I audible?
Very clear. Clear.
Yeah. Clear. Go ahead.
Clear. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Now I will present a short PPT. What about that? What was done, but what needs to be done? We have, since Bosconet is only a resource mobilization unit. We do not implement any project directly. but we have mobilized a lot of funds and resources and distributed them to the PDOs who executed all the relief measures. So these data we have already shared.
Hello.
But now, hello, yeah.
Mr. Lewis, one moment. Can I request all to put up the videos because the audio is getting very disturbed. There's been a request from the people always. So I don't think all need to have videos because we are getting disturbed. So I think the audio will improve. Please put up the videos. Yes, Mr. Lewis, go ahead.
Okay. So we have been engaged in relief measures by mobilizing funds and implementing through PDO across India. At the same time, we also started to think about solutions to prevent such hardship of migrants, at least in the near future. So we have come across a small conceptual framework. It is nothing new, but it is similar to the migrant desk already functioning. The only difference is we are focusing on mostly on the rights-based issues, because most of the donors now they have shifted from charity to development and from development to right-based or sustainable impact. So first we have collected some data from the secondary sources about the impacts and mostly about the rights issues and how much the migrants have the knowledge about their rights, whether do they have any knowledge at all. But most of the studies, the outcome says that more than nearly 100% of them don't know any of their rights or laws existing, either with the central government or in the destination state governments. So one thing we thought is better to give them some awareness or very focused education on rights, various rights. For example, labor rights and international labor laws and human rights and migrant rights, which vary from one state to another state. So we thought this may be very helpful and this will be a sustainable solution, so that if a person knows their rights and if we create a system to support that rights, then everything will be taken care of automatically forever. That is what the concept says. And we have prepared a small conceptual framework and we have given a name, SMILE, S-M-I-L-E. We will explain it later about that. So most of the studies, this United Nations India, and there is one organization called Stranded Workers Action Network, the SWAN. They have also did some studies, and the International Labour Organization, they have published an article protecting the rights of migrant workers. Then the International Catholic Migration Commission, Switzerland, all these have done an extensive survey, a study on the rights of the migrants issues. So based on that, I will explain this concept note. The first problem, can we please go to PowerPoint slide number 15.
You asked for 15, no?
Hello, Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis?
5. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, continue. Correct? Is this the right slide?
Okay. Yes, because all these things are already we know.
Continue.
What are the problems they faced during the COVID? Yeah. So no need to go back and repeat the same thing again. The first problem identified was the migrants lack information. They don't have any information about at all. For example, what are their labor, their rights, and what are the locally available facilities, nothing. They don't know anything because of the cultural and maybe the language divide. They are completely helpless. The second one is, then they are struggling to establish their identity. Hello, there is a PowerPoint.
There is one Anto Kishore trying to make presentation. Please don't do that. Mr. Luis, continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. 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 The second one is they don't have any skills to establish their identity. So when the person doesn't have any identity, it bars them from accessing basic facilities and fall prey to harassment of the police and civic authorities. All these problems they face because of the lack of identity. Next, please. Next slide, please. Then lack of identity compromises access to banking and financial services, and that prevents their savings and their future sustainability and resilience. Also, it is affected because of denial to access to banking and financial services. Then the second one, they don't have the information about the local job markets, a better job. So when they don't have the knowledge about the better jobs, they stick to the old job forever, and they are completely victimized because by the employers or whoever, or the contractor or whoever it may be. Next one. Next. Then exploitation by the employees, deny basic services. They are supposed to give some decent shelter, but it is denied. No sanitation, no access to protect water, then bad working conditions, and finally it all leads to health condition and bad quality of life. Next one. And here, if they want to increase their skill, technical skill or educational opportunities, that is also not possible because they don't have any information or they don't know whom to contact, how to get those skills. These are all also lacking. Then the informal economy, mostly depending on the migrant workers, they depend only on the ignorance or inability of the migrant workers to demand. They don't know their rights. So using their ignorance and their lack of knowledge, the informal security is thriving by engaging them as cheap laborers. For example, payment fraud is there and working condition is very bad, some abuse and accidents, but no health care, no relief, no compensation, nothing. Mostly they are engaged in hazardous operation and risky situations, but even then they are denied some welfare schemes. Next one. Most of them engage, they come into the labor, migrant labor, in a very early age. And they work for a long time. It is against the labor law and for a lesser work, and that too in a very dangerous situation. And these are all results in their health condition, and they may have to retire very early. But at the same time, when they go back to their village, they don't have any skill that will help them earn money in their home place. So again, they slide into the back to the poverty level because they don't have any savings and no skills and no backup wealth or something like that. So again, they become the they become poor people. Next slide. So based on these findings, we prepared a small conceptual framework, what can be done. So this incorporates some 5 points. We have given a small name like that, SMILE. So these are all the 5 focus areas. Number 1 is rights education. Number 2, life skill development. Number 3, emergency response preparedness. Number 4, creating migrant helpline. That is already we have, that is a migrant desk, but in some places these migrant desks are not functioning. In that places we can also think of it. Additional skill training, extra skill, so that they can, if they lose one job, at least they can go for another job. So these are all the 5 focus areas we have identified. And next slide. So based on the 5 points, we have created a conceptual framework. Now,
Mr. Luis?
yeah, one more. Yes, okay, stop. Now this is our point. See, in the beginning there are migrants. When we give them the rights education, they seek the help of 129 trained stewards. The plan is we can identify some educated youth among the migrants and train them to act as a liaison person between the duty bearers and the migrants, or between the helplines and the duty bearers, or between the helplines and the migrants. So this is the 3 levels. One is the migrants, and second one is the trained stewards. The third one, the helpline, and the fourth one is the duty bearers. So the conceptual framework is built on the 4 pillars. And this is the relationship or theory of change, a simple theory of change which we have developed. And it is also self-explanatory. And the directions of action is also shown through arrows. So if you have any doubt in this diagram, then I can explain. Then I will go to the next one.
Please proceed. All the questions at the end we will.
Okay. Already there is one migrant support center is also functioning by the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. It is a Ministry of Rural Development. It is run by Migration Support Center. And based on this support center, they have given a complete framework how it can be done. So based on that Migration Support Center, we have developed that conceptual framework. The next one. You can go faster. These are all only. Next one. Empowering migrants worker through network, then life skill, then empowering migrants worker. Sorry, next one. Life skills. Next one. Then emergency response preparedness. So what can be done? These are all details are given. Number 5. Enhancing employment potential, that is additional skills. The purpose is to improve their employment potential, to improve their bargaining power, to improve their earning potential. These are all the objective for giving additional training. Next one. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Father Post-Connect team, Luis, for your presentation. We'll take some questions. If anyone has some questions.
Father Tony?
Yes.
Before we go on questions, I wanted to add this introduction, but we went on with the presentation. That's fine. Is migrant involvement of the South Asian region must have started long back. The Yard Center is always dealing with the migrant issues of the children. Now we are moving on to in 2015 when the Salesian Congregation and Salesian Family Congress was held. when 11 groups of the Salesian family members came, the only one mission they wanted to take forward was this, to work for the migrants. And even the Congress was titled as One Family, One Mission. And that mission they wanted to be primarily to deal with the migrants, because it was held in the Northeast. A lot of young people from the Northeast were coming to the South and having a lot of problems. So that time itself, it was decided that we should take forward, and the SPCSA entrusted this to the R Forum that time in the following SPCSA meeting. And I think the R Forum has also done a lot of work by establishing migrant desks and all that. So it's a very nice thing that we are coming on a platform together like this from various networks. And one thing, I do not know whether COVID has done good or bad, but this seems to be, it has brought to light the life of the migrants, and we have come together to look at this. As Louis was saying, we need standard operation patterns, SOPs, both at the resource and at the destination. We being a huge network, if we can work on this and agree, we can do a lot. Of course, beautiful projects like Kismet, and I think the others are also following. Finally, as a network, we need to have a clear SOPs so that we can support people both at the destination and at the source.
Thank you, Father Noel, for that emphasizing the point of convergence, working together. We hope we'll be able to take it up as we evolve the national plan. Yes. So are there some questions anyone would like to? Since all the videos are muted, I won't be able to see who is lifting the hands, but just say whoever wants to talk.
Unmute and ask.
We can't see anyone because all videos are muted. So just say if you like to ask a question. Francis Dodia would like to ask, or?
No.
Okay. No questions?
One more intervention to say, Boscon had got into migrant issues because of COVID. We had to mobilize some resources, and due to people, we have done an extensive migrant relief program in Delhi with one of the corporates, and also in other places like Mumbai, the migrants were on the way. So that's how we got into it. And what Mr. Louis has presented is also a sort of output from the PDO network. We have done a survey, one-on-one survey with the PDOs, and they also expressed their concerns, and what he has presented is a result of that.
Okay. Thank you for Father Noel. And if there are no other interventions, can I invite Father Bosco from Chennai to make your presentation?
Hello.
Yeah. Father Bosco, you can unmute the video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would like to see you.
Yeah. First one.
Video.
Okay. Yeah. I have been in this field for the past 4 years. I am in the 5th year, and I'm in the DBR commission. Happy to share our own efforts. The province, Chennai province, many have been involved in the COVID. Strikingly, Surabhi, Don Bosco Anbilam, and Don Bosco Migrant Services, and also for the Vasant from Pope John Garden, no? That's Anbagam. So with that, I would like to share something. Before sharing about COVID, I would like to just share our own experiences in this Chennai province, what we are doing for the past 4 years, just in a brief manner. See, the Bosco Migrant Help Desk activities in the district and the state. in Tamil Nadu especially, we are concentrating more on intra as well as interstate migrants. I just wanted to tell you what is this help desk we formed in Chennai. Almost we are working in 4 districts in Chennai, and that's a hub. Mostly 50% of the migrants come to this district. Even Tirupur or Dindigul or Hosur, Namakkal, if you take the other districts. But here, mostly 50% of the migrants are reaching here. It's a main hub. That is Chengalpet, Tiruvallur, Kanjipuram, Chennai. These 4 districts, we have migrant desk. Okay. And we are working on it, and there are offices. And so what is this, what we are doing in this destination help desk? First is destination, we should have a help desk. Identify first where these people, unorganized workers are there, where these people of khaki colored people, that is dirty jobs people are doing from the other states. We have to identify, visit them, collect their data. And then we also distribute IDs for the sake of the police and for the social security. And then also this labor laws has to be taught to them. And registering them on the online welfare board. Now it has come to the welfare board. Any migrant can register in the welfare board. There are 2 types of registration. One is separately for intrastate. Another is for interstate. So there are 2 different form applications. So welfare board application. This is Social Security Act. And
Hello? Hello? Audio is gone.
Father Bosco? Father Bosco?
He left.
We wait for Father Bosco. Hello? Father Bosco? I think he got disconnected. Just we will hold on for a minute.
Okay.
Our meeting is being put on live stream on YouTube. I request Austin to put the link on the chat. It's already put on the WhatsApp. Our leaders group. Father Bosco.
Okay, you got connected again, huh?
Okay.
Okay, fine. That's okay.
கிஷோர் அங்க பக்கத்துல தானே இருக்க ஆண்டோ கிஷோர்
For Bosco Francis. Father, please unmute. For Bosco. Father Bosco, please unmute. You're muted.
Recreations are very, very important for these youngsters. And we also say, like Christmas was telling us, we have to celebrate their traditional festivals. And exposure, it was a striking thing was because always they work. We need to take them out. We were taking them out to the beach, to the films. So it was very fantastic. And every Sunday, though they are working, some are working, we need to have some meetings, weekly meetings, monthly meetings, to talk to them, how are the situations, how they are. Usually the contractors don't allow inside. So what we do is in the ground, in the name of the games we do. Then all the yard people are in the child line. The child line can also be used for labor line. Okay, though we don't have government labor line toll-free number, we also have a labor line for this. So we make use of this for that. Also, the training centers study for many youngsters from other states. They have stopped the studies. They have discontinued the studies we were doing. And then it's also a training center for languages. Even they should know certain bit of Tamil, certain bit.
Father Leo, any possible solution towards this issue? network issue. You can instruct somebody else who is near him.
Kishore, I think there are two of them who are near, Kishore and Anthony. Kishore is there, I'm able to see him.
Can you call him, Father? Because we don't have his number.
Okay, I.
Let's try and see if it's possible. It's happening.
Patience.
Maybe Father Bosco can speak using his phone. Of course, she's doing it.
Come on.
Okay, we have some problem, like they say on TV, we have lost Father Bosco.
Father is reconnecting. Network issue. Suddenly his network got cut. I just spoke to Father Bosco. So he is again connecting. Maybe if he can wait for a minute, then we will see Father.
Sure. Okay, we'll do that.
Father Bosco, we can see you connected. Can you please unmute? Father Bosco, unmute.
Okay?
Yes, Father. Yes.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah.
In the last, I see, the safety training should be very important in all the fields. Next, Thomas, happiness, yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
in the destination, you need a help desk. Also in the source, also you need a desk. Without coordinating, as Father Noel was saying, we need to coordinate. And this I was fighting from all through, and still it has not taken place. Identifying migrant-prone districts and states, also intra-state. Within the Tamil Nadu, we should identify, within all the states, we should identify from which district people are coming. And so within the state, we can, as a province, we can do. But interstate, other provinces should help us. So this is what important. And then railway stations also, and the bus stands also. We need to have a desk. We need to have a small office where we can help them. So that when they move, we can pre-departure counseling and data can be received. All these things. So the creation of source desk is very important. Now the Supreme Court also saying that all those people who have returned have to be helped. So we need to make it to the source desk. The children move to the state. For example, Bihar children are here in Chennai. They move to Bihar. They have to start the schooling back. So we need to follow them up. Next.
Father Bosco, if you can switch off your video, I think there is some problem with your network. Kindly mute your video. Only with your audio you speak. It may be better. Because it's getting continuously cut off. Mute your video.
Okay.
Yeah, speak further.
He has left the meeting.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm coming into another. Okay. So next slide. That is Bosco migrant help desk activities in the factories, in the sites, in the brick chambers. What we have to do in the brick kilns, especially in the places. So it is first we need to identify where the sites are. One is living places. Another is sites where they are working, whether it's brick chambers, factory, or companies. Second is go and meet these owners, HR. Then developers, contractors, agents, we need to meet in their site, especially the manpower agencies, the government. For example, all the constructions are done by Some of the government are done by Tamil Nadu Housing Board or PWD, Public Works Department, but they tender it to the private people. So it's also important we need to meet the government people. So it is not a problem. Then we also train the employees in the factories. For example, Sri Parambadur, Gumbudipundi, we train the people. For example, housekeeping, drivers, especially in Sri Parambadur, a lot of the kind of a Gobain company. We have an office there itself. We are training the unorganized workers also with the help of the HR. Safety training all in the construction sites is very important. An informal meeting with the employers and the laborers. For example, some of the construction people will say, the developers will say, Father, they call all the laborers, and we call all the owners and the agents, also the site engineer, safety manager, and project manager, and then discuss what are the this one Bangalore was telling, no, Adalat, no. Next, Aquinas. Lobbying and advocacy is another very important work. We need to write a MOU between district itself. For example, from our Chennai Tiruvallur district, many are coming from Viluppuram for bridge chamber work. So we need to have an agreement between that collector and this collector, Tiruvallur collector and Viluppuram collector. Likewise, state also should be needed. And this also agents and employees, all these migrant help desks in the source should have a contract agreement. And we should establish migrant identity and social security's inclusion and benefits of destination states. The government should include. All these are our government works, and we need to lobby and advocacy. Sometimes government is not at all for the unorganized workers, informal workers. They are all for the employers, and they are for the company owners. So we should make sure the government to come in to get into this also social security. For example, PDS. Ration card. Still, it is not happening. Our own laborers in the companies and construction and bridge chambers, they go and buy in the ordinary shop ration rice for 20 rupees, 30 rupees. Rations are not provided. For example, in Tamil Nadu today, we are again filed in the court. Today, the case is hearing again coming back. That is Kirubagaran, the Justice Kirubagaran. The government has to provide for all the migrant laborers free of cost in the ration shops, but nothing is happening. Labor department is very important. Labor officers are very corrupt. Their administration and inspection has to be done. Labor administration is not properly done, and our help desk should make sure to do that. What are the allied departments we should work with them for the migrants? Labor department, DISH, Department of Industry, Safety and Health, that goes along with, and then education for the laborers' children, and then for health, and the people should be treated in their own hospitals. And then there is another fantastic department is OHS. It's called Occupational Health and Safety. Whatever happens, this occupation needs a certain systems. This occupation needs certain safety. It is in the health itself. So in our Tamil Nadu, there is a department, and there is a doctor appointed, an IAS officer is appointed for this. It's a special ministry. And ICDS, all these small children, women in the migrant sites should be given all the equal treatment of Tamil women, and also CWC for child labor, for other children related things, for finding out, going around, all this. So this is very important. And advocating labor right laws, this is very today. Now the wage code is going to be out, and our Prime Minister is getting ready, and our Labor Minister, Central Labor Minister is also getting ready. Already first thing is out, wage code is ready, going to be implemented. So what is the wage code? There are new 4 codes are going to come out. All the labor laws so far has to be freezed. Any law, they are putting everything in there. So all the labor codes are not going to be for the sake of the employee. It is going to be for the sake of the employer. So we need to, all the good laws, Contract Act 1970, Interstate Migrant Workmen Act 1979, Building and Other Construction Work Act 1996, Social Security Acts, talks about the securities of that ESI, PF and other securities. Cess Act, the levy to be collected by the construction developers. They stopped. Now what the new law is saying, operational, this social security code of the code, no? What is saying, for the pension, earlier, welfare board was telling the developer has to pay the money and that will come to the benefits for the construction workers. But now the construction workers themselves has to pay from the wages. 12 to 15% has to be paid like any other formal workers or permanent workers. There is no difference now in the new code, whether organized or unorganized, there is no different code. So we need to get into this labor codes. Next, Athena. Very important is collective. See, you know, I am not working in a bigger project. No money, only limited project. In the beginning, all Leo and others will know about me. Even Surabi, Alphonse is also there. Very limited. But I have big number of volunteers, big number of people with me. That only is very important because I go along with others and whoever work with me. So what is this? Conducting camps, exposure camps for all the seminarians, for college people, for the school people, and take them into the migrants' sites and make them involved. For example, there are a lot of people I am working with, even religious, the Sacred Brothers, CRI meeting. We should not allow CRIs for somewhere to be tackled. We have to go and talk to the CRIs and get the people to be volunteered, because all the sisters are very important. If you just send the old sisters, those who know Hindi, Bengali, Oriya, they can go and pray inside the sites. And the FSJ sisters, SMA sisters, Clooney sisters, FMM sisters, OMI fathers, and Redemptorists, and there are men congregation, I forgot to write. And we have to also involve all the social work departments inside. Not for simply working. All those people who are entering in will also be a volunteer for us later on. So this is very important for field and support of the seminarian and the weekend apostolate. For example, I have almost 20 brothers with me. Poonamali seminarians all will be there with me for the weekend. And our own social from Becky Theologate, all the brothers are with me. So it's very nice to reach out to all over this 4 districts. And also friends, Father.
A little faster if you can.
Yes. Doctors, friends of the doctors, and volunteers who are taking children, invite sponsors, and involvement of NGOs. Father, this is the last one, Father. And then very important is involving unions. You can read everything. I am with the Railway Union, HMS, Hindu Mazdoor Sangh. No, very nice union. And like other political party unions. But there are unorganized unions. For example, NMU, Nirman Mazdoor Union. NAPM, Medha Patkas Union, National Alliance Political Movement. And then JATO, Tamil Nadu, we have JATO, Joint Action Trade Union. And we are part of it. Fantastic it is working with them and making them think. So all these things are there, advocates, using of all the advocates for our child labor, bonded labor, trafficking, welfare board religions. Next. For associations, CREDA is Confederation of Regional Extension Development Association of India. These are all contracted developers association of builders association, brick chambers association, rice mill association, factories. All these people we need to go together, sit with them, talk with them. Okay. So the social media, also use the press, writing press, any issue, anything, whatever it is, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, to tackle issues. Early morning, all the government people should read the issues of the migrants. That's a challenge. Okay, next. Children, what to do? You know already what you are doing. You are already doing. But important is when the people come with the children, with the families from the source, from Odia, Orissa, we should also bring the teachers here, and we appoint them in the schools. No, likewise Bihar, likewise Jharkhand, likewise Adivasis. Next. Migrant Citizen Initiative for women, even also, you know, ICD, that medical checkup, we need to, even giving birth certificate is very important. Nobody is giving birth certificate in the, if a migrant woman gives birth to a child in the site. So all the benefits should also reach it. Okay, I come to the relief. These are the things we did for the relief is 2020, providing food and prevent starvation and death, awareness, transportation, accommodation, rescue of bonded laborers very much, legal counsel and mediation to recover unpaid wages. Because of the lockdown wages, still many have not paid. That's why many migrants walked. They don't have money. Counseling to de-stress due to sudden loss of livelihood. We too had a lot of helplines. And what are the districts we covered? Chennai, Kanjipuram, Tiruvallur, Chengalpet, Tirupur, Coimbatore, Salem, Erode, Namakkal, Dharmaburi, Dindigul, Krishnagiri, and a lot of support people we've had. And this is just numbers I don't want to get into. Next. Aquinas, next Aquinas. Aquinas? Okay, intervention performance, very important. Promotion of awareness, you see a lot of camps, and these are all as usual. But we have reached out more than 90,000 people. I think we may have at least a kind of a lack of database. You see all this. Very important is many people have been next. These are all food distributed, rice, dal. Okay. Aquinas, next. Limitation and challenges. 80% migrants are unregistered, as you know already. You know, informal migrants, unpaid wages. Beginning NGOs are not allowed to work in the beginning. Not able to do. I was not able to see migrants walking in front of my eyes. It was really very sad thing. Next, Happiness. Developers, owners, capital lobby with the not to allow migrants to move out. Even now it is happening. I mean, they are migrants are not able to. They are not allowing them to send home. That should not be done. That's a right to go get back and right to move. As they come to destination, also they have the right to get back to the home. Borders are closed. Very bad. It is very bad sign. It was, and you know the challenges. Okay. Other things you can read. I can go for a network since Father said already. Okay. This is very important. I said no. We had a good experience of Aquinas. You can go for networking partners. Next. Okay, good. This is a good experience, not only now, the past 2 or 3 years with all the provinces. Salesians, you see how many people. I had a great help. Surabhi was with me, and the Chennai province was always supporting us, and we were leading the whole team. And Deepika was support. Kaveri, Maran is here. Maran has also helped us. Our own bonded laborers who have been released were in Tiruchi. And actually Maran reached out. Egmo Don Bosco, lot of help were done. And Don Bosco passed people's 90 batch. Lot of trains they were feeding. Almost a train consists of 1,700 passengers. Imagine a day we need to extra meal it is. The government will give, train IRCTC will give, but then we will give extra meal for the journey. Very nice it was. From the 9th May onwards, we were there in all the railway stations, from all the stations. Egmore, Central, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur, Kanjipuram, Tambaram, and other fathers, for example, Father Gabriel in Tirupur, like that in other districts. I'll come to it. St. Mary's Salesian Sisters also. Marial, there are 3 communities. And DBYC Broadway opened their premises for a day for accommodating. Father Joe Prabhu is there with us. We was fully with the brick chambers helping. Father Miranda, the principal of Egmo Don Bosco. Father Tony, DBR Forum. Father Koshi, Father Aquinas. And they gave us money for at least 4 tons to buy rice from FCI, Food Corporation of India. Thank them especially. And Father Gabriel from Tirupur, and Father Lionel who was helped us with the Australian friends, and Father Lawrence from Tirukkallu was taking care of Chengalpet station, and Father Samson is Dharmaburi rescued bonded laborers in Dharmaburi. Lot of problem, first experience. Almost from 5 people were being closed up. They were not allowed to go home. All those people are from Jharkhand. We released them. I said already Maran is coming. Father Dennis also helped us to, Dennis and Santan helped me to release rescue bonded laborers in Namakkal. 12 laborers, 6 in one place in agriculture, and 6 were going around the lorries to digging borewell. They themselves don't know where they are. I told them to take a shot of the lorry number, and with that only we gave a complaint, and everybody was in place. The core team, our team was such a big team. There were a lot of brothers involved with me, fathers involved with me, on my own staff, volunteers, all we delegated a lot of work. And national level DBR forum, Delhi, NAPM, Ahan Vahan is another very fantastic Bangalore. The advocates were airlifting people. So we were about to lift 82 people to Jharkhand from Kanjipuram district and we all got ready for things. But then at the end we have to, because the train was already ready. But it was very good, Ahan Vahan, and UNHRC, ActionAid, Royal Enfield, Habitat, Church, all the multi-purpose societies were involved with me. JMS, Jesuit Migrant Services, TASUS, Dindikal Multi-Purpose Service Society, Dharmaburi Multi-Purpose Society, Chengalpattu Multi-Purpose Service Society, and Madras Multi-Purpose Society. Then there are Pastor Timothy, and from north there is a medical mission. Sister Jayanti is also there. Christ the King Church, our own churches were involved, reduced places. And there are donors, professors, Banadi Sami, and other things. NGOs, you see, movements, advocates were very helpful for me. In all the districts, question of just allowing them, asking them to intervene in the issue. State helplines, that is fantastic. Orissa State Helpline, Jharkhand State Helpline, at the same time also UP. That kind of networking was also there. Then government, Tamil Nadu State Commission for Women, Labor Department, DISH, Tamil Nadu Slum Clearance Board, FCI, helplines. Corporation, Director of Railways, DC Venkat, DC Susindaram, Deputy Commissioners, Manali Zone Health, Dr. Rani. Revenue, collectors, all the where we have to rescue people and also transport people, we were involving with the revenue officials from VAO to collector. Very nice. I have kept just listed their names. And the police officials also. The police department was also involved in taking the people to the stations, transporting. So we were involved in that. And press, fantastic it is. Sanjay, NDTV, Shushmita from Indian Express, Manimaran, Dinamalar, Tirunendravur, Nalidar, Dinamalar, Times of India, and Tolilalar Kudam is computer-based, web-based. And in Indian Express, and another one is also podcast, Sono India. Just only they receive and then they send it out. But with all these people, we were able to get in. And I come to Anbilam also did a marvelous work in the corporation in protecting the people. For example, I dealt with the migrants in transporting, feeding them, and other. Anbilam, the other half of safety and health aspect. Call centers were standard for migrants to get back to the states by. Aquinas, next. A call center was set up by standard migrants to get back to the states by train with the help of GCC for 10 days with all the brothers, and you see the photo of they are doing it. They also, Leo has got a database also on this. It is a good data. Many have been asking for. Next, Aquinas, Don Bosco Anbilam HCL Foundation, Greater Chennai Corporation, call center for migrant workers. You see the data. There all they have all the calls taken. Very clear it is. Then migrant relief activities, 20,000 liters of water bottle were given, and then 3,500 food packets were distributed by Anvilla. Next. I should thank all my team members, especially. We were there from the beginning, from 23rd onwards in the during the COVID-19. Nothing happened to my team. All were there were Salesian brothers. There were another congregation, OMI brothers were with me. There were staff members and there were volunteers. And I said the whole team was there, except Dr. Rani was affected and she has come back. Others, the God grace, even the deputy commissioner also, he's always in the station, railway station. But luckily, even the police officials and all the authorities, all are safe. We thank God, thank Don Bosco and our lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father Bosco.
Thank you, Father Bosco. Some years ago, Father Bosco started out as a one-man army, and now you can see how in so many locations across the city of Chennai and elsewhere in neighboring district, there are so many armies created by him through his power to network and persuade and bring in people. He's brought in all kinds of people from everywhere, won them over the cause. I'm sure you could sense the commitment and the passion in his presentation. So thank you very much, Father Bosco, for this presentation. Last year, we had sent some deacons from the Northeast to see the work, and they went back so motivated and inspired. And the provincials of Northeast were actually planning to send another group this year. It could not take place because it was planned for June, but I hope it will take place some future time. And it would be also nice if other provinces would like to go and see what is being done in these areas. We are very much over our planned time. At the same time, we thought it's not fair to cut short presentations of work done over several years. So please bear with us for some more time. And if there are a few questions or something more you would like to know from Father Bosco, we will take 3 or 4 questions. We can't see any hands, so you would have to start talking in case you want to ask it.
Father, this is Gabriel.
Yes, Father. Gabriel from Tirupur.
Yes, Father. I want to just know from Father Bosco regarding the unionization of migrants. Father was saying that even migrants from other part of India, they can get the welfare measures. Is it the new law which is passed, or it was there previously?
Old law.
Okay.
It's a old law. So,
on that in near future maybe, so that we can also.
Yeah, welfare board registration.
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Father Balashari, yes, Father Balashari.
Father Bosco, congratulations. Good rapport you have with starting with district collectors and also local administrators. That means you are very much known to them, which we don't see on other parts of India. What approach do you have to meet collector at the district level and also in the mandal levels? That is the approach. Unless you meet them very often, unless you are very much known through media and also through other sources. So can you just give us a little information on your approach towards these government bodies?
We should always get along with the unorganized unions are there, and with them we have to get in. Already there are people doing. So in that way, I see we need to. And another thing, when there is an issue, we can directly get it, and people like our interventions. I think only myself is a father, a priest. Other people are all lay people and doing wonderful job. And the collectors, and if they respect, who are you? I say I'm a father from Don Bosco. Yeah, there is a respect because we are talking for the people. Their suffering, their pain, they understand. If they don't do, we get into otherwise. Advocates, union will be fighting there, and we will protest. All those things will be there. That's how it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bosco. One more question, if there is. Father Santanam, yes, please go on. Go ahead.
Word of compliment to Bosco. A few years back, from being one-man army to a man of army. And so congratulations. I just want to put one point across. Any emergency time, all of us are engaged in doing something. individually. But even during this emergency time, as a response, you're able to coordinate a network with so many people, so many, really great. If we can pen down those processes that you went about in networking, that will be of great help to everybody. Just pen down a page on how you went about bringing people together, coordinating. That will be a great help to Mary. Just putting across one point for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunil.
It's a very valid suggestion because the type of networking, the type of access to such diverse groups, we have not seen elsewhere in the country. And the only thing that Father Bosco does not do is write down.
Write out, not
I
writing down.
can do that. I think that will not be.
Very unfortunate.
Okay. Thank you so much. Question? Anyone? Okay. We will now listen to the presentation or Squad's presentation of Hyderabad province. Father Balashauri.
Father Balashauri, unmute. Father Bala, you are muted, no? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Father Bala.
From Hyderabad province, this is the work of a number of people, starting Father Pakoshi, Father Ratna, and Mr. Anto. So first we are trying to give a general idea about what is this migration and also what the church speaks about this migration. Migrant does to mainstream those most marginalized migrants. They are invisible. We know, all of us, especially we could see that during this COVID-19, suddenly is people just coming out of the places and on the streets. It was a really frightening situation. And we know that these are the people who are invisible to the society and to the nation. Next one, please. Yes, next one. And these are the visuals. I think till COVID, we are not very much aware certain pockets of this work, but with this COVID, we are much more aware of the situation. Now it is very clear to us. And our mission: welcome them, protect them, promote them, and integrate them into the society. Our common answer to the complex scenario of migrants could be articulated around the 4 verbs: welcome, protect, promote, and integrate. Welcome them as a brother and sister, as a brethren. Protect them from exploitation, abuse, and violence. Promote the integral human development. Integrate, participate by the mutual recognition of the other. And Pope Francis speaks about this. Next one. The invisible. To us, they were invisible. They were like a law of gravity. It exists, but only you don't think about them, much less as seen in its day-to-day functioning. They were and they are our fellow citizens, India's huge labor force in what is called unorganized sector. Largely unskilled they are. They have no union to represent and no one to guarantee their rights. They are our daily wage farm laborers, workers in the small factories or in dabas or in the tea stalls. They are car cleaners and truck washers. Our domestic help who sweep, soap, and cook and clean for multiple households in urban India. Next one. And these are the visuals which we are familiar with. Next one. And the migrants, in the short-term migrants, moving from interior native village source on a seasonal temporary basis in search of livelihood, either alone or with the family to the destination. They are both interstate and inter-district migrants. Long-term migrants displaced from the house of permanent residents or do not have any sustainable means of livelihood where they currently stay. For instance, the most marginalized Anadi community, not mainstreamed into the local community. And this local Anadi is in parts of like Andhra, but other places also there are people who are not part of this local community. They are almost like outside. The migrant children, the children, street-based, etc., who migrate independently without their parents or adult family members. And these families, children, we are very familiar. The most marginalized migrants, socially, economically, legally excluded. Unorganized and unskilled workers, no union to represent them, no one to guarantee their rights. Practically enjoys no legal and entitlements, social security measures, political rights, coupled with illiteracy and ignorance of rights, lack of sufficient basic documents to avail the public facilities and services, non-portability of entitlements such as the public distribution system, lack of safe and secure working conditions, and large wages, no continuity of work and food security, which we have been experiencing through these days. Deprived of social, secure and safe shelter, water and sanitary facilities. No accessibility to and affordability of health facilities. Morbidity and illness, especially related to environment pollution and toxicity. Indebtedness to the employers, leading to bonded labor. No reserve or no coping mechanisms in the event of COVID and such other disasters. And prone to addiction to alcohol and also other psychoactive substances. And child labor and children deprived of opportunities of education and development, especially the girl children. Malnutrition, especially among the children. Prone to various forms of violence, abuse, and trafficking, especially children and women. Absence of accessibility to protection mechanisms for children and women. Not counted. No reliable data on migrants exists, and hence no realistic strategy of their welfare. Lack of efficient interdepartmental, interstate, and interstate coordination at different levels. And these are visuals where we have been very familiar, and also we have been with them. The harmful effects of this COVID pandemic will not be disturbed equally. They are expected to be most damaging for children in the poorest neighborhoods and for those in already disadvantaged or vulnerable situations. Prioritize the continuity of child-centered services with a particular focus on equity of access, particularly in relation to the schooling, nutrition programs, immunization, and other maternal and newborn care, and community-based child protection programs. These are quoted, and these are our programs. And now I am going to present as the center-wise how we have been so far. Yeah. And we see in Hyderabad initiated the work with the migrants in 2013 and 14 onwards. Built a rapport with the more than 4,000 families covering 5 districts prone to migration, Hyderabad, Rangareddy and all. Organized different awareness campaigns and programs, especially under new campaign projects as the land organization in Telangana. Established the migrant desk in Hyderabad. And collaborating with the different stakeholders. We have a good network with both the government and also with the like-minded NGOs. and 4-day care centers for children of migrant families dwelling in slums, the places. COVID-19 relief response in Hyderabad, Mitchell, Rangareddy, and different districts, distributed provisions and health kits. And in Hyderabad, rescued 42 migrants heading towards Assam from Karimnagar in Telangana, walking along the railway track with the concerned efforts of Navjeevan Hyderabad, Don Bosco Community, Mariapur, Warangal, and it was in all the newspapers, moving the government machinery and media in time. And these are the places where the provisions and the things were distributed to the children. Another place is Navjeevan Visakhapatnam, and 2016 started the work with the migrants, identifying and supporting 120 families, mostly from the SC communities, living near the railway station under bridge, engaged in various livelihoods. Organized motivational day bridge schools for the children. In 2018, started working with 150 migrant families belonging to Chinchu caste and scheduled caste in Chitwan. Organized MDBS for the children. In 2018, the staff started another MDBS for migrant children in Loripet. Rescue, enrollment, and individual follow-up of 10 children laborers, after school children, and provision of educational materials, midday meals, and supplementary nutrition for children. Motivation and awareness measures for the parents, including significance of education children, personal and family hygiene, basic preventive health measures, etc. Facilitation of basic documents, Aadhaar card, ration card, etc. for 78 children and adults. Efforts towards the prevention of child labor. Skill training, life skills education for the girls. COVID emergency relief, provided dry food provisions kits, cooked food, fruits and snacks for 250 migrant families and 150 migrant children at Tarchetlapalayam, Laripeta, and Kanchirapalayam. These are the visuals and the life documents and the classes. And coming to Vijayawada, our project Destination Unknown and Children on the Move, that is a campaign, played a lead role in the project implementation since 2014. Spread over the states of West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, promoting and advocating the rights of children on the move, child migrants. Organized various awareness creation measures, designing IEC materials. Surveys organized to identify the issues of migrants, a turning point for the Navjeevan to focus migrant families and their children. Suraksha Migrant Desk, facilitated in Vijayawada, Kurnool, Visakhapatnam, and Rajahmundryavaram. Area mapping and surveys in September 2017 to January 2018 to know the living conditions and the issues of short term, covering 5 main points in Vijayawada city. Over 800 migrant workers, recording details of 477 of them. Area mapping and survey, May to July 2019. Door-to-door survey was undertaken in Navjeevan Vijayawada urban areas by Navjeevan Vijayawada in urban areas to know the status of some of the economically most marginalized and socially excluded long-term migrant communities. 3 another communities and 1 mixed community in Vijayawada, and short-term migrants families engaged in a construction of all India Medical Science at Mangalagiri. Details of 718 families with 2,799 population, including 882 children below in 15 years, have been collected. October 2019 to March 2020. Area mapping in 4 Enadi hamlets collected details of 112 families with 435 population, including 122 children below 15 years. And these are our accompaniment with the children. And interventions are done by Navjeevan Vijayawada. Skill training and the 3 motivational day bridge schools, 4 evening tuition centers, facilitated Aadhaar cards to 125 people, mostly another community, facilitated ration cards for 35 families, and interventions rescued and enrolled 31 children, child laborers out of school children, admitted 20 NRD children in Chiguru, facilitated 24 NRD families at Padmavati Ghat to obtain houses from the government, awareness creation through workshops, road shows, and door-to-door visits on health and hygiene and significance of the basic documents, benefiting 188 families, including 138 NRD and 50 temporary migrant workers, and COVID emergency aid project supported over 3,500 families belonging to 37 communities. Awareness creation on COVID and distributed provision and health kits to children. Meals packets for 700 stranded migrant workers for over 30 days. And these are the visuals where our intervention. Yeah. And IEC material also prepared. Solution Ministry with the migrant youth at risk, learning from a year of engagement. Need to focus on interconnectedness of migrants desks of different provinces. Sufficiently dense network of desks across predominantly source and destination locations. Connect with the rural areas, not just only city focus. Become a preventive community, empowering those who have no option but to migrate. But in the long term, working towards the development models that reduce necessity of migration. Way forward, long-term response project. Assurance, educating and equipping the most marginal communities, migrant workers and their families and children. Overall goal, increase resilience among the target groups to address varied issues, devastating conditions. Special objectives, effectively functioning of village level mechanisms to advocate and lobbying for migrants' rights. Improved access to the social security schemes, public facilities. Improved access to the education for children of the targeted communities. Improved health and nutritional status among the children and adults.
Near the door. That door.
And overall strategy, empower the leaders of the target communities and strengthen the families. Equip them with information and skills on various legislations, case laws, government schemes, programs, and etc. Enable them to organize, demand, and access their rights and entitlements, with a special focus on prevention of child labor, child marriages, child abuse, and trafficking. Main activities and stage. Forum for Internal Migrants, film, a caring community network of the key influencers, NGOs, GOs, COs, FDOs, religious leaders, community elders, etc. The representatives of
Father Bala,
yeah,
if you can wind up, yeah.
Yeah, finishing just one more.
Yeah.
Representatives of youth volunteer for and adolescent children, parliaments from various target group or communities, promotes, advocates, and lobbying rights and the entitlements of the migrants with a focus on children and women. Next one. Target main activities. Second one is migrants helpline operated by the migrant desk. In-depth survey of migrant workers to design evidence and database strategies. Facilitate motivational day bridge schools, Anganwadis and evening tuition centers. Supplementary nutrition for the children. Awareness campaigns on COVID, migrants, and the government schemes. Facilitation of basic documents to access public social security, health, education, and services. And training on capacity building for the communities to migrant to devastating conditions arising from COVID pandemic, migrants, low-cost nutrition techniques, kitchen and home gardens growing organic vegetables, prevention of substance and social media use disorders and related support measures, lobbying and facilitate market relevant skills training. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Balashari. The presentation gave us the context, the situation, the challenges, and your plans for the future. Are there some questions to Father Balashari?
Yes, others also with me from Father Koshi is there, Father there, and also Mr. Anto.
I think Father Balashari also touched on some of the plans that you have already made for the province, which again, we will be touching upon on Wednesday. Yeah. But that's fine. But anyone would like to ask any question or want clarifications? Joe Prabhu. Yes, Joe Prabhu, please. Go ahead. Joe.
Thank you, Bala, for your impressive presentation. And besides, your development office also has done a lot, and they have been putting out reports.
Yeah.
Is it not integrated here, or will there be another? Or is the development officer, is he on this meeting, whether he can say a word or two?
Yeah, Father Sudhakar has been passing on to us a lot of activity reports that we have not included because of the program that has been there already.
Yes, also we had requested not to emphasize too much the COVID, but to look at the larger picture. All of us are so how shall I say, so fixated on the immediate crisis, but we are looking at the overall picture of migration in India. So we had requested the presentation to give it secondary importance, not really. In any case, it has been already widely published also. Thank you. Any other question? Yes. So thank you, Father Balashari and the team from Hyderabad, Father Koshi, Anto, Ratna, and I don't know who else. Thank you so much. We have now one more presentation from Mumbai province. Father Sean Dilima from Vadodara is presenting for Mumbai province. Yes.
Yeah.
Sean, video, right? Straight away the video, right? Sean?
Yeah, you can hear me? You can hear me?
Oh.
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Should we play the video?
I'll put the video on. I'll put the video on.
We are playing it from here, Sean. We are playing the video from here.
No, don't play. I'll play it in the end. I'll just I'll explain, and you can play it in the end. Yeah. Hello?
Yes. Shall we
Yeah,
play
Father,
the video?
No, Father, you play the video in the end. I just express in gist what our province has done, and you can play the video at the end. Once I present, no?
If you can keep the microphone near you, Father, your voice is not very
Clear.
One second. Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, okay. You play the video in the end. I will express the whole scenario in 3 or 4 minutes, and then you can play the video. Will it do?
Yes, yes. Are you not using a headphone? It's okay, brother. Just come closer to the microphone and speak.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
With regards to our province, especially the Bombay province, we were stuck with this pandemic, and this pandemic was a sickness that affected the whole economy. Okay. Now, when we speak about this economy, okay, it affects those people who live by the day. Okay, and the migrants would earn money for the day, and by them being affected, especially because of the prime minister, gave them only 4 hours to react, and because of them getting just 4 hours to react, they couldn't reach their homes, they couldn't reach their villages. Now, if you take the context of any city, and if you take the context of a city like Bombay, okay, which is the economical hub of the country, the city is going a continuous and fast change to provide for the many people that are living.
Did I ask you?
If you notice Bombay, there are many people living together. It's
Did I ask you?
jam-packed, cramped up place. And there are many people, many migrants who are in Bombay working, okay, to provide for the betterment of the full society, etc. Now, in a place like this, when a lockdown takes place, okay, there is unemployment, there is a problem of shelter because of rent, there is problem of food to provide for them, and there is desperation that takes place. And because of this reason, because of this in the Bombay province,
Where's the duck?
the need
Where's the duck?
of helping these
Where's
migrants.
the duck?
We could see them on the roads, okay? And we opened our institutions. For them. We provided them with our space. We provided them with food and ration that could help them sustain themselves during this phase. In many phases was this food and ration given to them. Our province opened our institution. Okay, as far as my knowledge is concerned, our province also reached out to more than 1 lakh of people in 3 major cities in Maharashtra itself. That is Bombay, Pune, and Nasik. Okay. Besides this, we also helped a lot of people in major cities of Gujarat, also reaching out to tribal people. Okay, also reaching out to tribal people in the rural areas of Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and even Madhya Pradesh. Okay. This particular problem, this particular pandemic, this particular lockdown has made our province as a whole to prepare a plan, prepare an understanding how we are to react to such situation. Like, for example, even in the future, if there is any natural disaster like a flood or like an earthquake, etc., it has questioned our province to be ready, to be prepared. Okay, and in the video you will see the way we managed. We just went to the grassroots level. We never discussed, or we never thought, or we never prepared any kind of plan, but we reached out to as many people as possible. So you can look at the video. This is my short presentation of our province, the way our province actually reacted towards this pandemic, towards this lockdown situation in our country. Yeah. Yeah, for the Tony.
Yeah, can you play the video, Father Sean?
Yeah, Father, you can play.
That's by coffee bite because this is too sweet. Sean?
Yes, Father Sean.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sean, for that presentation and Mumbai team. Any questions to Sean? People seem to be a little bit tired, I think. Thanks a lot for that presentation, Sean.
Yeah.
And we will now move on. There was a request from Trichy to share something. Would Trichy like to share in not more than 5 minutes something of what you have done? Anyone from Trichy?
Yes, Father, I'm here.
Please take 5 minutes.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Father, actually, so good evening. I know everybody is tired. Actually, we started. Father, can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes, yes.
Actually, in our province, 2015, they said that we want to start something for the migrant ministry. So during the provincial chapter, it was decided that we should start something for the migrant ministry. And the work was given to Tirupur community, so that to initiate the process of migrant ministry. So in the year 2017, we started this migrant ministry with Father Xavier and Father Arul Kumar. So we started in a small manner. Then with the Don Bosco Yard Forum, with their basic support during 2017 and 18, we were able to set up a migrant help desk in Tirupur and proceed with the work by creating awareness about this help desk in all around Tirupur. Actually, when we look about Tirupur, it is only a population of 4.5 lakhs, with maybe some 2 to 2.5 lakhs of migrants from outside. Because it is an industrial hub. Mostly garments, textiles, and other knitting industry are the major industrial concern. So from 18 states of all over India, from 18 states, people are here. So it is a multilingual based area. It is a multilingual based area, and we know it is really our first the problem of challenge we felt was really the language, because each people are speaking in different languages. To communicate with them, to make a contact with them, it was a big challenge for us. But anyhow, we made through. And what are the major activities we are doing is mostly we were trying to create the awareness about the help desk which was functioning in Tirupur. Then we made a lot of data collections, and we also did some sort of little work on rescue and rehabilitation. We helped in rescuing some bonded laborers, not only from Tirupur, but other parts of Tamil Nadu like Tanjore and other places. We rescued some bonded laborers. And we also gave skill training for the migrants. So most of the migrants, when they come here, they come as unskilled laborers. So we also intervened for giving them a skill training on electrician and government-based industrial mechanical training and all we gave, like tailoring and other things. So we also gave them a skill training and we placed them in a better job. So that was really helpful for the migrants who came here. We also provide them with a short stay. We have a hostel over here. So when migrants contacted us through some of the solutions or some of the well-wishers, we gave them a short stay so that they understand the situation of Tirupur, and then we place them in a better job or job placements or whatever it is, we did them. We also regularly organize medical camps for the migrants because we felt that it is a need of the hour, and we also on a regular basis we organize medical camps. We also avail them this ration facilities. Regarding Aadhaar cards and other facilities, we spoke with the company itself. We negotiated with the company, and the company itself, they were trying to get them Aadhaar cards and other benefits. And for the spiritual needs, we organize the mass on every Sundays, and we give them recollection and counseling and other things. We also make use of solution cooperators for giving them family counseling. Some of the migrants, they come as a family over here, and we make use of the solution cooperators, some who know the language. They are very well and supportive of us in giving counseling and rectification of their family issues, or giving them individual counseling for the young migrants who are here. So solution cooperators are in that reason, they are very supportive of us. Wherever the migrants are staying, we also provide them with the recreational materials like sports articles and other things we are also providing to them. And we organized youth melas for them. Every year during the Feast of Don Bosco, we organized youth mela for them. Nearly 500 to 600 migrants, they gather here for one day of recreation, spiritual animation, and other animations. So it was also a part of thing. Then we thought of forming them into unions, but it was not very possible. The companies are not very encouraging to forming unions. But the companies were encouraging us to form some sort of grievance committee or some sort of youth group inside the company itself. So that when whatever problem they feel, they can express it, and the companies were ready to rectify the whole issues. And regarding the network, as Father Bosco was saying, we had a inter-province network and other NGOs and other things. So a lot of networking issues is also we are doing. Then we have capacity building even for the HRs and the manpower agents. We do capacity building on a regular basis. So these are the little activities we were trying to do for all these past 2 to 3 years, starting from 2017. With the YAR Forum, with the help of TV YAR Forum, we were able to do all this sort of activities, and we are continuing it in a little bit manner. During this COVID, we had it was really pathetic to see the plight of the migrants, because all the companies literally abandoned them. They never took charge of anybody. They literally abandoned them, and they were struggling for food and money and everything. They were a complete loss. Nearly, we were able to address some 21,000 migrants. Around 12,500 migrants, we helped them to transport. Other migrants, we were just providing food measures and other things, other safety measures we are providing. So nearly 21,000 migrants we were able to address during this COVID time. Along with the migrants, we do have refugees, Sri Lankan refugees who are staying all over in Tamil Nadu. And we also helped 300 Sri Lankan refugees in camp, 300 families, I'm saying. So 300 families in various camps of near our Tirupur, like Karur, Kangiyam, Tirupur. So 3 places we also helped these refugees over here. One of the small requests whenever I usually speak with the forums, we know that we need a help desk. Not, okay, the local places help desk is more important, but if there is any possibility of creating a centralized help desk, like how Childline is having a centralized help desk where all the informations are collected, then they try to contact the local help desk. Since the language is a big barrier, we feel that if some sort of a centralized help desk where people can understand different languages, they come to understand what's the exact problem of the migrants. Then if they connect with the local help desk, I think it will be more helpful for us in doing this migrant ministry. And with all the migrants moved out, I think the local people that are finding a lot of shortages in the job and companies and other things. So we have this interstate migrants who are now picking up some job opportunities, and we are also started to provide some skill training for them. Hope so that in future we are expecting that the companies are also expecting that from another 6 months, 3 to 6 month time gap, all the migrants will be returning back. But the trauma they had in staying here, the negative impact which has been created for them, I think how far they will be coming back is a big question mark. But if the company is ready to provide them with the good facilities, I think we can go ahead for it. So this is something about our migrant ministry over here. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Gabriel, Father Lawrence, the rector, Father Peter Singh-Rai, and all of the...
Sorry, I don't introduce Father Lawrence. Lawrence, he'll be the one.
It's a true rector, animating from the back.
Side by side.
Okay, so thank you so much, all to chip in. Sorry we couldn't give you more time, but perhaps some other time. So once again, thank you very much. I'm sure, though it took us a little long, it was a very rich, very inspiring bouquet of presentations from various provinces. Before I pass on and request Father to give us the concluding words, one or two things that I would like to say about the meeting day after tomorrow. Today we had an average of 55 to 60 people participating, and for the meeting of the day after tomorrow, we have around 101, 102 registered. So I would like to request whoever is presenting to please write your responses, because we have a lot of valuable things to say, but if we do it spontaneously, we may miss out and we may be a little long. And it is not very nice for us to have to cut short any speaker. So if you can kindly write your responses, it will help us to keep time, because we have responses from 11 provinces plus some networks for each of the questions. We have some very good experts, actually 2 of them, who will sum up our responses and give their own perspective. We'll share that program with you tomorrow morning. So thank you very much, and may I invite Father Tati.
I'm here.
It seems Father Joe wants to intervene. Father Joe Prabhu. Father Joe Prabhu wants to say something.
Can I please? Can I come in, please?
Yes, come in.
Yes.
I have also been following up this COVID-19 interventions. INN, Delhi province has done. I am surprised that they have not presented. Then my overall impression or the feedback, if you allow me to give. Can I give my feedback?
The time is yours. You can say whatever you want.
Okay. From the takeaways from today's presentation, which is leading to the, I'm aware of the next national plan that is coming ahead. So some of the things that we can give it a thought during this coming 2 days, that our national consultation will be effective. So that is why I am proposing here certain things. BOSCOnet has come up with a very beautiful plan for the SMILE, which is a right-based approach, and that is very much appreciated these days. And it is we can take that as a base. And from there, to arrive at the policies in the national level, we have to move from the doers to being coordinators at the national and the state level as provinces. So as we move ahead and in the national point, how we can be more proactive rather than reactive to the situations of the plights of the migrants. And the second thing is about holistic approach. Holistic approach in the not only just fulfilling their socio-economical needs, their psychological and spiritual needs also, developments of the migrants, seen as a whole person, which is some of the provinces are doing. That we can embrace as a solution. Our approach should be more holistic and also the inclusive. Though the topic is the migrant workers, we cannot leave alone the family, the wife and children. So we also have to bring in the plan how we are going to take care of the entire family, not just the workforce alone, the men alone. And also the involvement of the stakeholders, which has been also, I see as a very productive in this presentation, how we can be more elaborative as we plan ahead with the government authorities and the government policies and the government schemes that are coming up, how we can tap in and take more resources from the government. And last but not least, the network first of all among ourselves as a solutions, and with the other NGOs who are already in the field, how we can better work together and achieve much more. Thank you.
Father Joe Prabhu for the suggestions. Over to Father Tati.
Yes. Good evening to all.
Good evening.
I think all of us are very tired, but it has been a very, very fruitful and enriching evening or afternoon. So I would like to thank the organizers, Father Tony, the Executive Secretary, and for the Aquinas, the Joint Secretary, and all the support staff, support team, Mr. Austin, and also Father Koshi is doing moved out of the office. I think his support is still there. We really thank them for organizing this afternoon webinar or meeting. And I'd like to sincerely thank also all the presenters from the different provinces. And this is, personally for me, it has been very, very enriching experience, starting from the Bangalore province for the Tony, who presented their interventions on migrant ministry, Kismat, and the way this work has been well organized. We see a very organic structure of the work with a very clear vision, with a very well defined structure and the implementation of this vision. And Mr. Louis, who presented the Bosco Net along with Father Noel, they have certainly reached out, providing resources to the various provinces, collaborating with the various provinces. And I think they have also been quite, they were creative in also involving the local donors or local agencies through Zomato or whatever the other organizations. So we thank them, and also with the vision that they have towards migrant ministry as well. And Chennai, we have seen Father Bosco presenting with so much of passion, involving a lot of people. He has in fact created a kind of a movement of migrant ministry, and certainly this has to be taken up by all the provinces. And Hyderabad presented by Father Balashavri, who shared the concerted effort of all the various YAR centers. Practically all the centers are well involved in this ministry. And then of course from Mumbai province for the Sean presented the great need for reaching out to the migrants and the enormous work that is awaiting us. And of course Father Gabriel also presented the migrant ministry work that is happening in Trichy and the various processes that they're already involved in. And particularly, I think this crisis, COVID-19, has actually brought to fore this ministry that has already been well in place in different provinces, particularly in some provinces that has been very well organized, in some others not so well organized, but I'm sure the work has been going on. And certainly this crisis has given visibility to this, to our migrant ministry. Just 4 or 5 things that I just took note as we were reflecting. The first area that these are both strengths and challenges. The first strength that we have is that we were trying to give identity to the migrants, and this is something really noble. We have been attempting at giving them, organizing them better, giving them skills, offering them education. And this is also a challenge for us. how to give greater identity to them, to give better skills, and to also give education to them. The second is there is a need for organized ministry at the province level. We do have already wonderful examples in some provinces, like Bangalore province is very impressive, the way they have presented and the way the work is going on. I think this has to be replicated in various other provinces, while other provinces already, like Chennai or Hyderabad or Mumbai, they are already well involved in this ministry. And I think pan-India, this has to be adopted, and we need to give clear focus to this ministry. And also the third area is networking with other NGOs within the provinces, with like-minded people. And sometimes we do have brilliant ideas, but these ideas have to be also shared with the others, getting their help as well. And fourth area is also networking at the national level between the provinces. Now this pandemic has actually helped us to reflect on the situation pan-India. We have the source states and we have the destination states, and there certainly needs to be a greater amount of collaboration between us as provinces to make this migrant ministry more effective. The fifth is advocacy, then fighting for the rights of the migrants, rights-based approach that needs to be adopted. And lastly, the need for replicating these initiatives or good practices or processes that are already initiated in some provinces. This has to be implemented or replicated in all the others, and certainly we will be able to reach out and create a greater amount of visibility to this work, while of course helping the migrants who need our intervention, particularly at this time of the crisis, and of course even later. We see them. In fact, there have been largely some groups have already, some provinces have already presented. Largely, they have been invisible. We need to also move towards them and accompany them in times like this. So once again, thanks to for the Tony, Aquinas, and the team, and to all the provinces and all those provinces that have presented. And really looking forward to 15th. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Father Tati, for summing up the day and your motivational, inspirational words. Thank you, everyone, for all the work put in, all the presentations, all the sharing of ideas. This is actually what we call the curtain raiser, something that will motivate us towards the session day after tomorrow. As you know, and we will also be sharing, the entire consultation will be live streamed on YouTube. It's available. It's also being recorded, so we may be able to send you excerpts, which also means your presentations, your interventions will be recorded. So it would be nice if they are made in such a way that we can circulate it widely. Day after tomorrow, the same time, we meet again. Thank you so much. See you all.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
To put on their video so that we can take a
We want you to put on the video for 1 second to see.
Please take a pic.
Yeah, you want to take a group photo. Okay. Okay. Whoever has, Father Joe, Prabhu, yes, okay. Father Sean.
See, Vincent has come with the tea.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You did not say anything.
Thanks to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you to all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you on 15th.
Nice to see you. Arvind.
Again.
Hey, Arvind.
Hello, national team. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. National team. Very good.
Yeah, I think we can take another picture.
As Sango Ares appear.
Yeah.
For those who can.
Maheshwari, data speaks.
Data is speaking. Arvind,
It will speak today also, Father.
Arvind, thank you.
Arvind, good.
Biblical
Yes.
quote, please.
Next time.
Satish, you didn't say anything, man. One quotation
Huh?
last.
How shall I say?
Quotation.
Okay, listen, I'm saying one quotation, okay? All your plans, aspirations, surrendered, submit to the Lord, and He'll establish it. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3. Am I right? Secondly, all the worries and fears will multiply your problems, so don't worry. Psalm 37, verse 7. So, not any worry, surrender everything to God.
Okay, बहुत धन्यवाद.
Brothers,